of our county council or our council. Okay, so I'm going to call this meeting to order. And if we could do the Pledge of Allegiance, if I could get Director Kimball to introduce this one of our Pledge of Allegiance, that'd be great.
Okay, hand over heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And next is the roll call, please.
Okay. Director Kimball,
Here.
Chair Long,
Here.
Vice Chair McFadden,
Here.
Director Minigan, we know she hasn't appeared. Director Pace,
Here.
Director Villaseñor.
Here, and might I say I have my daughter with me and she did the pledge with us as well.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
All right, we have everyone here. And next is public comments. Do we have any public comments or any email to us?
No.
All right, then we have the approval of the agenda. Mr. Emmerich, is there any changes to our agenda?
Chair Long, no changes to the agenda.
Okay, then can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Director McFadden, and a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Director Villaseñor, and a roll call, please.
Okay. Director Kimball,
Aye.
Chair Long,
Yeah, aye.
Vice Chair McFadden,
Aye.
Director Pace,
Aye.
Director Villaseñor.
Aye.
Perfect.
All right, thank you. Motion is approved unanimously. And if we could show for the record that Director Minigan is joining us now. Thank you.
Okay.
The next item is our consent calendar. If there's any discussion, we can do that now or a motion to approve.
I'll make
So
a motion to approve.
Okay, motion to approve by Director McFadden and a second by Director Villaseñor, if that works. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Okay. Director Kimball,
Aye.
Chair Long,
Aye.
Vice Chair McFadden,
Aye.
Director Minigan,
Aye.
Director Pace,
Aye.
Director Villaseñor.
Aye.
Perfect.
Thank you. The motion is passed unanimously. Next item, we will go to legal counsel for. This is the agreement for general legal services.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to the board for convening this meeting on essentially on my account. I raised at the last board meeting that my partner Keith Lemieux and I are taking our water practice to another firm. The firm is Alshire and Winder, which is a public agency firm, which happens to represent the city of Fillmore as city attorneys. And the discussion we had at the last meeting was the issue concerning potential conflicts of interest between my representation of the GSA and Tiffany Israel, who's the partner at Alshire and Winder, who is the city attorney for the city of Fillmore. Under the rules of professional conduct that the state bar sets forth, I have to give my client and Ms. Israel has to give her client written disclosure where an attorney's firm has a relationship with a party or witness that's involved in the same matter. And the matter here, of course, is the management of the groundwater basin by the GSA. I've come to learn that the city actually draws water from a basin. I think it's the Sespe sub-basin or someplace along the river where that's the source of the city's groundwater. And of course, the GSA is charged with managing that resource. So the issue is there a conflict of interest regarding our representation of both the city and the GSA? The rules of conduct do not prohibit such representation so long as we have a written waiver, which I've supplied a draft letter to Tony Emmert in that regard. But I just wanted to raise the issue because it's not uncommon when you have a joint powers authority with regional and member agency representation where the entity which is charged, the joint powers authority, which is charged with conducting some business, could potentially be in a situation where it is taking a position that one of the member agencies may not like. But as I view this situation, the GSA is charged with managing in a sustainable manner and a long-term manner the health of the resources, including all of the water supplies of both the city, of United, of the county, of the pumpers, et cetera. So currently, I don't see any conflict. In the event a direct conflict did arise, for example, if the one of the entities, or say the city, took an action against the GSA or took a position adverse to the GSA, I would have to come back to this board for direction. What is common in these situations is the law firm will institute an ethical screen where the information and communication and data are all sealed. I'd be sealed off from the city, and the city would be sealed off from my records. Or in the event it becomes a critical or acute conflict that's intractable, I would have to step out from representing the agency on that matter. So I hope I've identified the conflict sufficiently or the issue sufficiently. I've spoken to the city attorney who shares my view of this, but I know I think Tony has spoken to some a deputy county counsel, and I think Counsel for United, who had a concern about this. So I just wanted to lay it out there, address it to the board, and have that discussion.
Okay, Tony Emmerich, do you have any comments to make on this?
And board, I agree that even after talking with both of the legal counsels of the other members of the JPA, there are no current conflicts. And so the things that, you know, both of the legal counsels, David Boyer for United and Alberto Boada for the county, Tiffany referred me to meet with him, and I'm not sure it was he involved in the formation of the JPA and the GSA.
I believe David Boyer drafted the JPAA, the Joint Powers Agreement for the agency.
Right. So both of them were familiar with the agency. Both said this is not ideal. However, you know, it's a small world as far as this kind of thing, and so they said you should just go into this with eyes open. Definitely, as Mr. O'Neill has said, you know, we need to have the conflict letters, and I do have a conflict letter from him, and the city will have one from Tiffany Israel. So I think, you know, this wasn't a problem that was foreseen, and so staff's recommendation at this point would be to move forward on this, and we can always do an RFQ at some time for legal services, and Alishire and Winder, you know, could propose on that. It has been since late 2017, so it wouldn't be out of line to do that. But at this point, being that there is no conflict, and you know, staff would recommend going forward. The two things that I guess I should say, Alberto asked for more time to think about this, and as Chair Long is probably aware that he wants to be thorough, and he was not able to get back to me in a timely before this meeting, but he shared the same, you know, be cautious, but this is not something that's a death blow. So so I think we're good on that. The things that we brainstormed to talk about that might come up would be, say, if this GSA, several members of the board decide to do something that has to do with fees, and the city of Fillmore has a different opinion, that might be a point of disagreement regarding groundwater extraction fees. There might be something that has to do with land use that could be a potential area of conflict. And, you know, sort of the nuclear problem would be if there ended up being groundwater adjudication in the basin, and sort of everyone, probably everybody would be against the GSA at that point. But we don't have any of those. So we have tried to think through this within the limited authority and scope that this agency has. And at present, we do not have any problem.
Can I ask in regards to, is there any difference in the fee schedule?
No, the fees are the same, but there is an escalator. We're getting a little hit by inflation too. So there's an escalator in there that it would go up beginning in 2023. It could go up to 5% from the current, I believe it's $2.25 an hour. Mr. Tony, do you know, is it $2.25 an hour?
Yes, 225 is what's in the agreement.
Yeah, so if inflation's at whatever it's running at 7% or something now, and at the end of the year, if it's at 7%, we'd ask for an adjustment up to 5% ceiling. So we wouldn't stay current with inflation, but we'd catch up a little bit.
The reason why I was asking is, didn't we get our increases already just recently for, I thought we had increased the legal fees at one of our last meetings. Am I incorrect? Maybe it's a different meeting.
I don't think so.
Sorry, my apologies
No.
for mixing meetings. Okay, so if people are shaking no, we haven't increased. Okay, thanks. That's my safety net.
That was just a bad dream.
Okay, good.
I have experienced that in other meetings, but in this meeting, I believe our legal fees through the AMLO firm have remained remarkably flat for several years.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate just confirming that. Directors, do you have any questions in regards to this? I know we are to vote on this.
I don't have a question, but I've got a comment.
Yes, please.
Seems like it could be expensive and time consuming if we had to start over with new council. So if there are no complications, I would support moving forward as recommended by staff.
Okay, and I would just want to say to Stephen, Mr. O'Neill, thank you so much for the service since we brought all of you on. I think that makes it an easier discussion today because of the work that has been done on this GSP and with our agency to, as Director McFadden, I think, motioned to approve this agreement. I think that it has been very easy to have this conversation today because of the service that we've received so far. So that's years of service. So I do appreciate that. Any others for comments? I know we have a motion.
I just have a question. My question was, I think in the staff report said that we would initiate a limited term agreement. Is there, I didn't catch, is there a limit or a time frame on there set in the way it's proposed right now?
Director Pace, there is no term in the agreement. You can terminate me at will at any time.
Not that we're planning on that, but that's
okay.
Just,
but no, I talked about that with Tony. I wanted to make sure if because he mentioned an interim agreement, so I want to let him know that I'm essentially working meeting to meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Director Kimball.
Yeah, comment on the conflict. It's pretty hard to find a water lawyer anywhere in California or in the West that doesn't have a conflict. This is pretty normal. This seems a fairly mild conflict. I do think we need to do the appropriate letters and acceptance so that we don't end up like another law firm in the county who didn't do that and got booted out of an adjudication and 2 clients lost their legal representation. So we need to take care of the legalities, but the reality is I'll bet we'd have a hard time finding somebody without any conflicts. So I view this as fairly minor, and the likelihood is fairly low, and we just have to deal with it at the time. But I don't think it should be a reason to not proceed, because I think we've gotten good, knowledgeable representation and good help.
Okay, thank you. Any others? If not, Director Kimball, would that be a second?
It would be a second. Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any other further discussion? Then if I could have a roll call, please.
Okay, Director Kimball,
Aye.
Chair Long,
Aye.
Vice Chair McFadden,
Aye.
Director Minigan,
Aye.
Director Pace,
Aye.
Director Villaseñor.
Aye.
Perfect.
Well, with that, Stephen, thank you very much. We look forward to continuing to work with you. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I just want to say thank you for the board, and I have to echo Director Kimball's comments. It is a bit of a small world amongst water lawyers, and especially when you have a multi-agency, interested board, and it's hard to avoid sometimes. But if anything comes up in that smells like a conflict, you're going to hear from Tony and I.
Well, thank you. We really do appreciate that. I also appreciate everyone's time here today. I know this is a special meeting specifically for this item. We are at 5:17. I say that out loud because we are adjourned. So thank you very much and have a
Thank you.
fabulous night.
Thank you.
Okay, to you all too. Bye-bye.
Thanks all.
Night, everybody.
I don't have to sign any checks. Yay. I just have to go home.
I know, lucky, yay.
See you soon, Eva. Bye.
You have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.